Okay, have you ever stopped to think about, well, how you think? I mean, really think about it. There's this incredible mental tool you're using literally every second of every day, from just understanding what I'm saying right now to designing a skyscraper. And you might not even know its name. It's called abstraction. And to really get its power, we're going to start with something surprisingly simple.
Right. So to get a handle on this, we're not going to start with some super dense academic theory. No. We're going to start with something you could literally hold in your hands, a newspaper.
So this is what's often called the ladder of abstraction. Down at the bottom, level 1, you have the most general, zoomed-out idea, a publication. As you climb that ladder, you start adding more and more specific details. Okay, it's a newspaper, it's a specific paper, from a specific date, until you get all the way to the top. Level 6, the most concrete, specific reality possible. But here's the thing. The levels themselves aren't the magic trick. The magic is our ability to just effortlessly move between them, to zoom out for the big picture and then zoom right back in for the tiny details. That mental movement, that's the key.
So, what is actually happening in our brains when we do that? What's the pattern? Well, when we move up the ladder from concrete to general, we're shedding details, right? And when we move back down, we're just adding them back in. This whole process is all about filtering. It's the art of subconsciously choosing what to pay attention to and, just as importantly, what to ignore to get something done.
And that process, that art of filtering, of moving from a super specific example to a broad, general idea, well, it has a name. This is that hidden power we were talking about right at the start.
And there it is, abstraction. It's our incredible ability to boil something down to its very essence by filtering out all the noise. And listen, this isn't about just randomly forgetting information. It's the total opposite. It's about gaining clarity. And that last part is so important. It's an active process of selecting only what matters for a specific purpose.
Okay, so this isn't some vague philosophical concept. It's a real, concrete thing our brains do. So how does this filtering actually work? How do we pull it off? Well, it turns out there are two key mechanisms behind the magic.
First up, you've got simplification. This is where we just deliberately leave things a bit fuzzy. We ignore the make and model of a car just to talk about the idea of driving. And then there's compression. Now this is cool. Think of it like creating a mental zip file. Your brain takes every single specific cat you have ever seen, fluffy ones, tiny ones, sleepy ones, grumpy ones, and it compresses them all down into one super efficient concept, cat. And this slide just illustrates that perfectly. Look on the left, you've got concrete reality. Every rich detail is there. A specific cat named Elsie on a specific type of mat. But look at the right. We've abstracted it. We've totally stripped away the Elsiness and the matness. And what we're left with is a general reusable pattern. An agent is sitting on a location. Now that abstract pattern can be used for a dog on a sofa, a person in a chair, anything. It's incredibly powerful.
So why does any of this matter? Because once you start looking for abstraction, you see it absolutely everywhere. It's not just some little mental trick. It is the fundamental building block of basically all human knowledge and creativity. Let's just look at a few examples.
Think about abstract art, for instance. An artist uses abstraction to distill the world down to its essence. They're not trying to paint what a sunset looks like, they're trying to capture what a sunset feels like. They filter out the literal, photographic details to focus purely on color, shape, and emotion.
And math? Oh, mathematics is abstraction in its purest form. You know, the number 3 isn't 3 apples or 3 planets. It's the idea of threeness itself, completely separated from any physical object. Math extracts these deep patterns so that a formula that describes the orbits of planets can also describe the behavior of atoms. It's wild.
The very device you're watching this on right now is a towering monument to abstraction. When you tap an icon on your screen, you're not thinking about the millions of lines of code firing or the flow of electrons through silicon. All of that staggering, mind-boggling complexity is hidden behind a simple, abstract interface. It's the only way we can possibly build modern technology.
And it even shapes how we understand our own past. I love this quote from Francis Fukuyama. He points out that writing history isn't just listing every single thing that ever happened. No, that would be impossible. It's the art of abstraction, of deciding which events were the signal and which were just noise, all to create a story that makes sense.
So yeah, it's pretty clear this is way more than just a neat concept. It really seems to be one of the fundamental things that makes us human. It's the ultimate tool that has shaped our entire civilization.
And this isn't some newfangled invention. Abstract thought probably showed up right alongside language, tens of thousands of years ago. And as you can see here, we've basically spent all of human history getting better and better at using this tool, from the top-down logic of the ancient Greeks to the bottom-up reasoning that kicked off the scientific revolution. Every step was a more powerful way of harnessing this engine of progress.
So, when you put it all together, what you've got is this. Abstraction is our fundamental strategy for making sense of an incredibly complex world. It is literally how we find the forest for the trees. Through this constant, subconscious process of filtering and simplifying and compressing, we transform messy, chaotic reality into structured, useful knowledge.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? We have used this one core mental tool to build everything from philosophy to quantum physics. It is the invisible architecture of our modern world. So looking ahead, what new realities are we going to construct with it? What's the next great abstraction going to be?